Alrighty, here we are. We are back once again with another Rival Battles interview. I believe this might be the last one on the list that we have before we go into it. And we are joined by Natborn Killer. How are you doing today?
I'm doing relatively okay today.
We'll take it. We'll
On my
take it.
better days.
It's not bad. Doing all right. Doing all right. Doing fine on. Well, it's pretty late where we are, but I was going to say it's been a nice day. But yeah, it's not been too bad. So let's talk about what we've got coming up on April 28th for yourself. We've got a match against Venom HG, your opponent who unfortunately couldn't make it for the interview, so here we are. But yeah, Tale Story is the name of the game, and that's kind of been the main game for you in your time with Sadek. So why don't you tell me a little bit about sort of how you got into it, really, how Tale Story kind of became your main state of play and whatnot.
How I got into it? Well, there was like somebody outside the community. They were said if you ever want to get into speedrunning, speedrun something you like. And I said to myself at that point, I was like, well, okay, I don't want to ruin Sonic Adventure 2 for me, so I just did SA1 instead. And I like Tails.
And that's how we got here.
That's how I was that. Yeah.
And so, like, you've kind of obviously come to a point where you're one of the well-known Tails runners out there. You're one of the better Tails runners out there. Like, at what
Yeah,
point?
and that still
Mm.
surprises me. Still
But like,
something I've ever gotten used to.
yeah, I mean, like, fair play to you. You know, you've definitely pushed it to a strong point for sure. But like, at what point did you kind of realize, sort of like that you wanted to kind of push it that far? Really, I guess would be the question.
Um, well, initially the motivation was just like with Venom being so close. I suppose it was like, okay, yeah, fine, let's just do something funny and go backwards and forwards of it,
Yeah.
which kind of like worked. I posted on Tails a lot after I beat Aiden's time, as I didn't really want to go further.
Mm-hmm.
Being top UK runner at that point. I wonder what pushed me further.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, it's I mean, hey, you're back on top right now. That much is true. So can't complain. Can't
Doesn't
complain.
doesn't feel that way. Such a weird category.
Oh, there you go. But yeah. So obviously, as you are right now with Tails, are you still looking at any sort of potential further pushes? Any goals that you've got in mind that you would like to kind of keep on going with and pursue? Where are you at right now on the board? I think you're fifth on the board right now.
I'm currently fifth, but I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm still don't think I'm faster than Venom's unsubmitted PB that's in the void somewhere.
Mm. It is
So
somewhere in there.
I know he has like a low 18 somewhere in the void somewhere.
Mm. Would that be something that you'd kind of want to push forward to maybe try and go for, or would you maybe look at like a sub 18? What are we thinking?
I'd have to see how I feel going into the next couple of days, whether or not I will want to or not.
Hmm. Okay.
It's a very finicky story where like a lot of stuff has to kind of just go
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of like deep make or break moments with Tails' story, that much is for sure. And so when it comes to sort of with what am I saying here? I was just gonna say, obviously going into this, it's gonna be a race you're going up against Venom with a pretty strong sort of like close to call matchup here, right? Because like you said, Venom has an unsubmitted PB, which is pretty damn close to your own. Even the one on the board, I think, isn't that far behind. So when it comes to
Like
you versus, gone,
uh, it's been so long since I've actually been told what it was. I can't actually remember what it was.
I feel like it was an 1813. I want to say it was an 1813 if I'm not wrong, but couldn't remember. But
Yeah, it's been so long.
but yeah. So as when it comes to you versus Venom, I was actually at Alpha in here just a little while ago, and he was kind of hyping this matchup as something that he's looking forward to for sure.
Of course he
Um,
does. Of course he would. He's a natural Tales fanboy. That's what he does.
Absolutely. And he was saying that like you two have kind of always been very close to each other on the boards for like a number of years. And so, like, how much of like a rivalry is there for you really in terms of Venom just as a competitor on the boards in races as well? I know you've come up against each other in a couple
I
of
think it
competitions.
would. I think it kind of like was artificially created for that North America versus EU stream like a couple of years ago
Mhm.
because there was like no one else really. All the other Europeans were just like, "Oh, Sonic's cool. Oh, Gamma's cool. Hey, Knuckles. Yeah, that's a thing." It's like no one ran Tails.
Mm.
I don't blame people for running Tails. There's like 7 minutes of doing nothing, and I don't blame people for not liking that.
Mm. And so it kind of just ended up being that way then, huh? So like Venom was the American runner and you were the European runner at the
Yeah.
time, so worked out well. Okay. Yeah, no, I must say I think that probably was before my time then, I guess, that EU versus US.
I
Uh
think you were getting your foot in SA2 at that point.
oh, that would have been interesting. So yeah, probably around like early 2021, I want to say maybe.
I think it might have
Or maybe
been
late
like
2020.
yeah, about late 2020, I think.
Hmm. Okay.
Or
Yeah,
early
nice.
21. Either late 20 or early 21. I don't actually remember the date of it.
Mm. And so
It
I think
it predates the foundation of the channel, if that's anything to go by.
yeah, that much is true. I think you guys am I right in saying you came up against each other in that Tails mini tournament that we did? The
Yes.
was it the third
No,
place
we were on
one?
the opposite sides, and I demanded a third place game.
Yeah, I think it worked out because we kind of needed a gap filler or something like that, right? And so it kind of all just ended up working out quite nicely. And
Yeah, it was I lost to Alpha and Venom lost to Yoshi, I think it was.
mm, I think Venom came away that day with the victory, correct?
I greeted really hard after getting that first win, I think.
That's still your PB, right? If I'm not wrong. No,
No, there
no,
was
it's
a new
not.
one.
It's not. There is a
No,
new
there was
one.
a
You
new
got it
one.
recently. That's right. So yeah, no. So you definitely, have a little bit of history of competing against each other. Is that going to like play into it here? Is there a little bit of maybe
I don't
revenge
think it
seeking going
will.
on? No.
I mean, I would like it to be, but this category is like too potholy. I
It's
have an
definitely
idea
yeah.
in my head for how I have an idea in my head for how this is gonna go, but it's like, and it was like, and I was talking to Venom the other day, and it was like, yeah, it's just gonna be like, did run I get this thing? Oh, one run I got this thing, and the other run I got didn't get this thing. Well,
It's definitely
that's that then.
yeah. That's definitely one of the things with Tail's story. It can be a little bit of like a trick fun, a trick circus at times with one cycle hornet, ice key clip, not ice key clip, ice cap clip. Ice key clip is free.
Ice Cap is the bigger one of the.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
I want to say two of them, but
Mm. There are going to be some things interesting though because uh obviously what we said what's been agreed is that this is going to be a best of three regular Tails match,
yes,
and it was kind of
I have nothing planned for that.
I
I
was
have
just going to ask
nothing planned.
because it was kind of yourself that if I'm not wrong that sort of leaned more towards sticking with regular Tails, right? Because fast Tails was another option. Is there like much thinking behind that for you, or you just kind of wanted to keep it vanilla?
It was more just like it was more just like if this went to 5 games,
Hmm.
let's say, how comfortable would I be on like the fifth game? And I would just be like, you know what, I would feel a lot more comfortable on on a third run of normal tails than I would in a fifth run of fast tails.
Mm. So it's kind of like that.
There's
It's
no
almost
breathing room in fast tails. You'd just be going
mm.
right. You'd be like game one, game two, game three.
It's almost like a break between rounds kind of thing. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So and and it'll provide good viewing as well, I'm sure.
Hopefully, if I can think of something. I think Venom might actually have more interesting stuff than me.
we'll
I
see
don't
him
know.
we'll see him eat Chipotle again. That'll be fun. But yeah, so that's gonna be an interesting one. And you've obviously competed in a fair few events at this point. You've been in a Sonic Story tournament, you were in the CAG tournament, and obviously the Tails mini tournament further back as well. So for you, when it comes to like going into races, what's it like for you with like mentality and practice? Like, how much do you tend to put in the build up, I guess.
Obviously, if we go through the four of them in order, I think with Tails I went in way too overconfident,
Hmm.
but that was, I want to say, that was kind of to be expected. It was like a very weird one. That was like, okay, we have fourth and fifth, like eighth and ninth, and first and second. So it was like, I wouldn't have been surprised how it turned out. It turned out the way that it did.
Hmm.
But I still feel like I could have probably done more for that, and I just like got stuck in it. Didn't stick into it.
Yeah.
KG, I stuck in really hard and kind of like still expected to lose,
Hmm.
which was a weird one because it was like, and I was just treating it how it went. It's like it literally was just expecting to be destroyed by anyone who knew how to play a play a pink hedgehog.
I think you ended up doing all right in that tournament, didn't you?
I did, and I still hate Amy.
Oh man,
I
you're
think
gonna
it
anger
was.
some people with that one.
I think that was like. I think that was like one of the things that came out of it. I was saying, I was like, I literally can get like what a 10 or like what was it? I'll open live split and have a look what it was. It was like an 8 or 9 minute Amy or something, like or like relatively okay Amy, and I still hated Amy. And I had to learn all of that in the span of a tournament because I didn't know how to do any of it.
Oh, you came in. You came into the CAG tournament not knowing Amy.
I could do the story,
Hmm. But not like the
nowhere
big stuff.
near at the level it would be required to actually do well in it.
All right. Okay.
I really need to organize my splits better. Oh well.
But yeah, so like there was like a different kind of approach for CAG,
Yeah.
and then with
And
the
then with
Sonic Story tournament.
Sonic Story, I kind of just didn't do enough. I think I put a lot of effort into the wrong places.
Yeah, that's fair. But we're back. We're with Tails. So going into this one, obviously it's more back in your domain. What's it been like for you in the build up to this? Has there been a lot being put in? Are you kind of like coming in?
I've had a look at it just to see what parts of my hands still function.
Hmm.
Obviously Alpha is correct. I've just like not touched the game really.
Hmm.
Alpha is right on that regard, but like, and it was like, there's a couple of things I do need to clear up going into this, but like, I've always had this weird approach to like certain things, especially with like, I think like Icona is like the one exception, and I don't know if you ever like heard me say this out loud. It's like I refuse to practice it
Hmm.
because it just annoys me.
One of those like if it happens, it happens kind of thing.
Because it doesn't matter how much I practice. It doesn't matter how consistently I can jump cancel. If just for some bizarre reason it won't work.
That's definitely yeah. No, I can kind of get that. Like I'm a bit like that with some other skips myself, where you it just doesn't seem to click, and then randomly sometimes it does for no apparent reason, or like you don't practice it for ages, and
I
suddenly
have
you've gotten
the
better.
Amy.
So
Managed to find the correct splits, and it's like a 10.5 minute Amy, which is not good, but not. It's better than like the initial 14 minutes that it was.
mm, yeah, we'll take that. We take those. But yeah, no, I think I get that. Um, but yeah, just like otherwise in terms of that. So like there are you've got sort of like your game plan then. So you've got things which you're focusing on, and other things which are kind of like nah, not worth it. Is that what sort of you think?
I think like I was pretty much relative to pace on the one I did do, and it was like okay, fine. And I just looked at it and went, okay, it's fine then.
We'll take it. We'll
Like
take
if
it.
I'm performing like relatively within like 18, well, like mid 18 territory, not assuming like things go well, which is the problem is things have to go well.
Yeah. And well, I was going to ask you that as well. So coming into Tails, obviously, going up against Venom, what are the main strengths that you've got to your game that you think are probably going to give you an edge over Venom in this race? Or what do you think will play into your hand a bit more than it would play into his?
I don't mind sitting through Sky Chase. I don't know. Like he's always been like he's slightly better at ILs than me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like a. I mean, I know you don't go for gravity glitch, so. Or have you
No,
changed that now, or are you
no.
still a
I
main?
still haven't touched. It's
You
a
know
lot
that?
harder than it's a lot harder to do with Tails than it is to do with sort of that Sonic in that one level.
Yeah, it's definitely a trick which
I can
I
never
may
hold. I can never hold. Even if I get it, I can't hold the angle correctly because my stick discipline is awful.
it's definitely a trick with a lot of risk versus not necessarily as much reward as you may think, right? Because
Yeah.
if you're good
Since
at
I struggled, yeah. Since I
Mhm.
also struggled to hold the angle as well, I just think it's not worth it. For like 3 seconds, it isn't worth it. If I can just
Mm.
get consistent 47s, I'm not that bothered.
Yeah, I think that could play a big part. Just speed highway alone, that difference in approach. Because if Venom goes for it and messes it up, then that kind of gives you a little, quite a lot of leeway, really. Then, but vice versa, if Venom does go for it and nails it, then it's a little bit of time save for him. So yeah, no, that stage in particular, I think, could definitely come into play for sure. I'm just trying to think of other differences I've noticed between the two of you watching you both play.
I don't think there really is any. It's just whoever got the
No,
most lucky. I think.
you're
I
both
think
kind
that's
of
actually what it
optimized.
is.
You're both quite optimized Tails runners at this point, so I don't think there's anything necessarily other than that major wise that either of you go for that the other doesn't.
I think
So,
Venom's like got a lot of like the most up to date IL stuff. So like I think
mm,
his Windy Valley is significantly better, and I'm on the back burner of Windy Valley cycles, and there's nothing I can really do about it. And I'd rather be on this side of it than the other side of it. Because I always like it's a big circle where like okay, how optimally can I slide past the kill plane? And you start off going way wide of it.
mm,
And then you get closer and closer and closer and closer until eventually you're just hitting the kill plane every single time you go back to the start.
yeah, exactly. And so, next question for you, really, then, is what I would say. What time do you think you need to get? Let's just say, like, per round, so not like total amass time, but let's just say in each round. What time do you think you have to get in order to walk away with a win? What time are you walking away feeling happy with?
I'll be happy with mid
Mm-hmm.
18.
Mid 18? And
I'll
what
be
time do you
happy
think
with
you need?
to win something around the 1820s.
Yeah, I could see that. I think given the fact that it's a best of three, I think someone is going to have at least one race where everything goes wrong. Like that.
We hope there's like a scenario where like it's like there's actually an actual race the entire way through, and not just like
Yeah,
somebody missed one thing, therefore it doesn't matter.
yeah. I wouldn't want to see like two races where like one runner misses first cycle hornet and that one cycle hornet and then that's it for the whole race. Like, hopefully there is stuff to look forward to here, but and there will be. I've got every confidence there will be. But yeah, no, that would be kind of like the rough sort of thing to see is if all those mistakes add up. But I in a weird way, I can definitely sort of see. I can see something like that happening for somebody because Tale Story
There's
is
a
just is that kind of category.
there's a non-zero chance that we have a close race. However,
Mhm.
it is more likely very close to zero.
Well, we'll see.
I,
We'll see.
there's a lot that just you've got Acorn, you have the one ice, the very important ice cap clip. You have both super jumps.
That's true.
One super jump, the other one isn't really that.
The other thing is though that like we could also just have a situation where both of you mess up and both of you have everything go
Oh
wrong. So
but then
there you go.
then you have the close race, and that's actually enjoyable to look at.
It is kind of it's so funny. Like this is definitely like the case with any category really, but with Tails, it can be very
There's,
rigid in terms
yeah,
of like either one person's in front or that's it, or that's it. It's one person's very far ahead or they're neck and neck, and that kind of feels yeah, that feels like what it's gonna be.
it's an 18-minute story. You
Mm,
spend about 18 minutes of it on the back of a plane, and there's two very big tricks that gatekeep at least like
mm.
a minute and more.
Yeah, for sure. So like the general movement does play a part with Tails, but like
It's a shame, but you never really get to see it in a race. That's the
yeah,
thing because
if it is
it's
neck and
over
neck, if
before
it
it
is neck and
begins.
neck,
Really,
yeah, if it is like a neck and neck race, then you will see it. You will see kind of like how the optimized movement comes into play. But yeah, those big skips, those big moments are going to be the ones that will make or break the race for either runner. Then, so we'll wait and see how that goes. But yeah, I guess the next question would be to you. I guess obviously this one you got to get through Venom first, but for yourself, you've got a couple other categories under your belt. Is there any other sort of races, rivals, anybody out there who you wouldn't mind sort of going up against in a future version of this? What do you anything that you've got on the horizon?
I've had a little bit of time to think about this
Oh yeah.
because I kind of knew what it was. And the first thing I thought of was like, I don't really feel comfortable in any other category to challenge anyone to it.
Uh huh.
It's really weird and barely really even feel comfortable. Like would be comfortable challenging anyone in Tails. But anyway, I just don't feel comfortable with how good I am at it. Even
Hmm,
though
that's fair.
top Tails winner, apparently.
If you were
I
to get
keep
this
I
win,
keep I keep being told. I keep being told I am, but like I don't. It doesn't feel like I am.
if you were to get this win, would that kind of like bump some confidence into you? Do you think, or
No, I would just say I got
no?
lucky.
Ah, well, maybe then, maybe.
I think I put myself down way too much, but it's like it's maybe I just see what's above me, and it's like no, it doesn't feel. Even though there's like a lot below me, it doesn't feel like there's a lot below me.
There is that sort of like I can see what you mean somewhat with like drag upwards. There's sort of like there's a 20-second gap between yourself and drag, for example. So like those four up there are kind of like different beasts in a way, but that's definitely not to take anything away from like the rest of us, mere mortals down here, so to say. But yeah, no, definitely, I can kind of understand where you come from, but at the same time, like I do think there'd be a lot of good matchups. I think like Dre has recently been putting in some time to tails. That much is out there. Spacebar's been on a bit of a tour of the categories. I don't know. Anything could happen. You know, we uh,
Anything
we
could happen.
we may see some stuff. We may see some stuff. But let's talk a little bit more about what we've got here on this card right now. Obviously, there's a few other categories being on display from SADX and some other games as well. But we've got some nice looking matches here. Is there anything that's caught your eye? Anything that you're going to be tuning into?
The non-essay stuff, I don't really know much about. The hunting would interest me, just because like I actually find hunting interesting to watch, not to do. God, the godness, that's you're insane. Stop. That's all I have to say on SA2 hunting. You're insane. Go have a drink of something.
Well, I mean, there you go. That calls out all the SA2 hunters.
No, they're good at what they do, and I just look at what they do, and it's like, do you have any room for anything else in there, or is it all where pieces are?
I think I get what you mean. But yeah, no, it's going to be some good ones. Do I have any predictions from you?
Oh, I haven't been paying much attention to. I
We've
think
got
Scuba holders. I think Scuba holders own against Spacebar,
Spacebar
and
on
that's the only
a
one I really know.
Spacebar's on a winning run right now.
I know he
2-0.
is. It's scary.
Is he going to be stopped? Is that what we're thinking? Scoop takes the win there.
I think Scoob is probably going to be underrated going into it.
We shall see. We shall see. Uh, and then yeah, so then more or less my last question then really would be I asked this one to my last pair of runners who were in here and they took their time to answer, but I wonder if you've got anything up your sleeve. If you could pick one category, one pair of runners, any Sacer game, what's your dream matchup? What do you want to see?
A hermit that doesn't know anybody, so I don't really know what to look. I don't really know what to look for, but I would have one that I would like to see,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to reclaim my spot officially. Tethys.
You want to go? Is this the call out?
That's the call out, I guess. It's not as
I,
bad as that call out I got at the UK on the UK speedrun marathon, but like I guess yeah, that's all I've got there.
I mean, hey, you got a certain American man to get through first, and then maybe we'll talk. Maybe we'll talk. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Motivation.
We'll see.
Don't
But
motivate. Don't motivate me.
give me, I'll take the winner.
Don't motivate. Don't motivate me. I'll upset Alpha.
I mean, hey, I nearly did. I've got pedigree, man. I've gone up against Alpha on the big stage, nearly took the win. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Do you want the smoke? Do you want the heat? You gotta tread carefully. That's all I'm saying. But hey, no, for real though. This will definitely be an interesting matchup, you versus Venom. I'm looking forward to this one very much, both just as a Tails fan and also as
It'll be
just
nice to. It'll be nice to put the amount of time into Tails again, and then realize, yes, this is a problem, and then just go run away back to Frontiers.
yeah, you've been on that lately, huh? And also Alpha's there too, so Tails Runner's infestation, I guess you could say. That is what I would call it. Not an invasion, an infestation.
No, it's just the update 3 rating, but then we're just gonna do that. Apparently, I think.
Hey, there you go. I actually might unironically do that. That might be fun. But yeah, then. So that will probably just about round us up. So just to ask then, do you have any final message to Venom before we face off on April 28th? He's not here right now, but anything you want to send out to him?
No, I haven't got anything. I think I think there was a lot that was said. I was said off thing anyway. I don't think I need to say anything else.
Oh, there you go. Alrighty then. So that'll wrap things up here then. That, I think, wraps things up with the whole series of interviews then. So thanks for hopping on that. Pleasure having you. And yeah, we will be back very soon with the main event then. Well, the event. On April 28th. Don't miss it. Over on Sacer Events. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Looking forward to this. Rival Battles 3. And yeah, that'll be it from us for now. Is there anything you want to say to round things off, Nat? The floor is yours.
Should be a cool event, I think.
I think so. But yeah, no, that'll be it. Thank you, Dan Gamer, for hopping on. Hope you have a good rest of your night. And everybody take care. See you soon.